Alright, hello guys, how's it going? In today's video, we're going to be talking about some upcoming snowfall chances for the northeastern United States, including the snowfall chance we talked about yesterday, which is coming up in the very near future. Anyways, before we get into things, be sure to smash that like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe for more weather-related content. For today's comment of the day, I want to know, do you think we will only have that one snowfall chance that is coming up very soon? Or do you think we actually might have multiple snowfall chances for the northeastern United States within the month of November? Let me know your opinion down below, and I'll be picking one of those for tomorrow's video. Let's get straight into this video, and first things first, we're taking a look at this morning at about 10 a.m. and we're already going to have some snowfall starting out for the Appalachian Mountains here. As you can see, for states like Tennessee, North Carolina, Virginia, West Virginia, Maryland, even Ohio there, Pennsylvania, and up through New York, there is going to be some snow showers around, some heavier or some lighter, might even be like flurries, but around these areas there will be some snowfall possible this morning. Now, by this afternoon at about 3 p.m., we're going to see that Clipper system starting out. So we know this Clipper system is going to happen because it's less than 24 hours away from starting. We see moderate to heavy snowfall here for North Dakota and Minnesota, these areas that have already had some snowfall. And by the time we're reaching about 6 a.m. here on Sunday, November 14th, or tomorrow from the time I'm making this video, you can see that we have Wisconsin, Michigan, both peninsulas that is seeing some snowfall. We also have some lighter pockets of snowfall to the south for Indiana, Illinois, Ohio. So there's some snowfall around as we see some colder air in the area. And by the time we're reaching about 2 p.m. here on Sunday, November 14th, we see some moderate to heavy snowfall now developing for Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, and the lower peninsula of Michigan by this point as this Clipper system develops. And this is a super interesting situation. This is a winter-like snowstorm. We see these oftentimes through the months of December all the way through March and even April. So this is a little bit early for a Clipper system like this to be developing, but we do have far below average temperatures bringing winter-like conditions, and that's what has allowed for this snowstorm to even take place in the first place. Now, by the time we're reaching about 11 p.m. that night, we see that still Indiana, Michigan, Ohio are seeing some snowfall, but now West Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, and New York are being included, especially the Finger Lakes regions there, and then the northwestern portions of Pennsylvania and the northeastern regions of Ohio seeing some snowfall with that snowstorm. Now, the interesting thing we've seen change over the past 24 hours, because again, I touched on this yesterday, is that by the time we're reaching about 6 a.m. on Monday, you can see that nor'easter that develops from this Clipper develops much further offshore, and this leads towards less snowfall in general for New England. We see that by the time we're reaching 6 a.m. on Monday, there is some snowfall going on for the interior northeastern United States. It is pretty widespread with the snow showers and flurries, but there's less moderate to heavy snowfall around. We do have a couple pockets of the moderate snowfall, but really it is quite minor at this point. And by the time we reach 3 p.m. on Monday, instead of having very heavy snowfall for New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine, there's pretty much just some snow showers or mixed showers around for the New England states, New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, and West Virginia. Some of that is lake effect with this very cold air going on. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to move on and we're going to talk about that cold air that's going to be in place, talk about that temperature pattern in a little bit, and then we're going to talk about some future storms that could be possible. Now, this is the temperature pattern by the time we're reaching about 6 a.m. on Monday, and as you can see, that warm-up that we are kind of in right now, it's very mild warm-up, it's hardly a warm-up, will be coming to an end, and we will see a potent cool down moving in. Most of these blue areas, it's going to be about 5 to 10 degrees below normal. The greens are going to be more like 10 to 15 or even more degrees below normal. So a pretty potent cool down moving in, and this is what's going to allow for these snowfall chances to take place. But by the time we're reaching about 8 p.m. on Wednesday, you can see we're going to be right in the heart of a big warm-up that takes place briefly. And during this warm-up, or kind of towards the tail end of it, we will have a major nor'easter developing offshore of the East Coast. You can see it's a 1,002 millibar low pressure center offshore of North Carolina by the time we're reaching 8 p.m. on Saturday. That's going to be November 20th. And by the time we reach about maybe 5 a.m. on Sunday, it'll be a 994 millibar low pressure center. There isn't really any cold air for this one to meet up with, but I do see the potential that if the air masses are a bit different, this is pretty far out, so that is possible. This one could be a snowstorm potentially, or at least a coastal storm that does bring impacts to the eastern seaboard. But at this point, that is not looking like the most likely scenario but still is looking like a possible scenario because of how far out we are. Now, the main highlight of this model run is really this storm that moves in early on Tuesday, November 23rd. This is going to be approximately 2 a.m. here. Again, Tuesday, November 23rd. We do have major snowfall starting out for Tennessee, Kentucky. We see Indiana, Ohio, West Virginia, Pennsylvania all included in this. And especially here by the time we reach Tuesday, November 23rd. Take this with a grain of salt because this is the very extended range. Our confidence is very low in this scenario. It's mostly just to point out that there is snowfall chances in the future, potentially. I do not think it'll look anything like this because this would be insane for even January or February, but we have very potent snowfall coming down for Tennessee, Kentucky, Virginia, West Virginia, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Maryland, and even, up through New Jersey as well, maybe even New York City, with a 996 millibar low pressure center there over North Carolina. This is already the far extended range. This is beyond 10 days out, so this is kind of what we would consider to be fantasy zone here. Nearly impossible for it to look exactly like this, and very unlikely to even look anything like this. But the point is here that there is snowfall chances showing up on the models. So I don't want to, make this anything it's not. By the time we're reaching about 6 a.m. here on Wednesday, November 24th, we do see that snowfall is extending all the way from Tennessee to North Carolina and then all the way up through New England. You can see plenty of blue going on. Some sleet and ice is coming down for the more coastal regions, which would be expected with this type of storm if it was even to take place. Like I said, it's not even looking likely at this point. And by the time we're reaching about 8 p.m. here on Wednesday, November 24th, which is moving even further into the extended range, we have a strong nor'easter right offshore of Boston there, literally kissing Massachusetts by this point, basically. And we have heavy snowfall for the entirety of New England, a lot of the Northeast, and even down through the Delmarva and south of D.C. So this would be a historic November snowstorm if it was to look anything like this, which again, there's a very minimal percent chance that it even looks like this at all. If this was to take place, this is what the total snowfall would look like according to this model. It would be absolutely gargantuan. I mean, for the grays, under 2 inches of snowfall, which we see the grays extending south of Richmond, Virginia, which is unheard of almost. We see blues here, 2 to 6 inches of snowfall in the blues. Purples are going to be 6 to 10. Pinks are 10 to 20. And then those pastel shades would be 20 inches plus. I'm even seeing 48 inches of snowfall there near central Pennsylvania and western Maryland, which is a very mountainous region, by the way. But this would be this would be the snowstorm of a lifetime, even if it was January or February. So that's why this is so unlikely for the month of November, because historically this isn't even really something that is really heard of. So there's many things pinned against this type of a scenario even taking place. And as we zoom out here to take a look at the national view, you can see most of the snowfall that occurs on this model over the next 15 days, which is very extended, by the way. Usually 7 days and beyond is considered, very improbable or very long range, in other words. So to move to 15 days is, you're moving into a zone where the likelihood of things like this occurring are minimal. The one thing that is important to note, which is a little more likely, because again, we have historic backing on this, this is something that is actually possible historically, is Canada is going to get littered with snowfall. I mean, from the west coast to the east coast, to the southern border to the northern border, you have, 1 foot plus snowfall for almost 99% of Canada here. That's important because that is going to help potent cold air move down into the United States. The snowpack would significantly benefit from this type of a scenario playing out. You can see where our clipper systems are taking place up there for the upper Midwest. We get generally 2 to 10 inches of snowfall for those regions. And again, take it with an absolute, the most grain of salt you've ever taken anything with here with this northeastern and mid-Atlantic region, because the likelihood of this occurring is slim at best. Beyond slim. So, yes, take it with a grain of salt. But snowfall chances are possible is the point of this video. Our confidence for the Clipper system and the more probable snowfall events and the Canadian snowfall is at about a 4 out of 6. The probability for that northeastern snowfall with, 4 feet of snowfall is below 1. I mean, if I could move the arrow to the left of that low, that's what I would do for that event. So just let me make it clear. For today's comment of the day, I asked you guys, what do you think about this Clipper snowstorm for the northeastern United States? And David Chase, sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, said, I think it's going to be more strong in the mountains and less for the lower elevations, which is absolutely true. It's going to be more of an elevation based snowfall event. You know, your mountainous regions could see 6 inches plus. The more lower elevation areas might see flakes, if anything. So, very elevation based, strong contrast between elevation levels. And that is common this time of year. For today's patron highlight of the day, I want to thank you all for supporting the channel, but especially our platinum patrons, Bill Crates, James Wade, Dovin Nagel, Lure the Pan, Mandy Birchfield, and Patrick Strickland as well. I would also like to thank our diamond patrons, Bill Roberts, Marcus Connolly, Noah Harley, Michael Codalesa, Catbite, Charles Stinnett, Cindy Klein, Alan Goodmaben, Bill Dallas, Gary, John Calisi, Dwight Phelan, Stephen Kernenthal, and Thomas D. Barr as well. I'd also like to thank our channel members, Catbite, Stephen Fan, and Jeremy Cox as well. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to smash that like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe for more weather-related content. I'll see you guys in the next video.